It's always the nightmare that I'm going to do one of these things and forget to have recorded it. I feel that way about my interviews too, so I usually start it very early. Okay, we'll see if anybody else is coming on. But for now, I think what I'm going to do is mute everyone except Richard and myself so that we can get on with this. And we will, I'll mute all. And I will unmute when we get towards the end and see if we can do question and answer live. If not, you can write questions into the chat. All I ask is that you put the word question in all caps at the beginning so I can spot it. Because I'm doing the text side of things here by myself. But what I want to do right now is welcome all of you and thank you for being here to hear what we can do about raising our voices and coordinating our voices on behalf of our movement and our talking points. Great, more people are coming in. To support the message currently dealing with New Mexico, but these are all translatable into techniques we can use at all times on all of our talking points. So little bit very briefly about me so you can understand who I am and then who Richard is. Libby Halevi. I've worked in television, radio, and in theater since I was 17 years old, primarily as a writer. I'm an award-winning playwright. I had a musical option for Broadway. I've had international productions. Since getting involved in the anti-nuclear movement, which was right after Fukushima, I have been a TEDx speaker. I'm author of the book, Yes, I Glow in the Dark, 1 Mile from 3 Mile Island to Fukushima and Nuclear Hot Seat. And as most of you probably know, I am the producer and host of Nuclear Hot Seat, the weekly podcast on nuclear issues. The purpose of this training is to learn more effective ways to use Facebook to build our presence and get our message out. Most immediately, it's in support of what's happening in New Mexico and support those who are fighting the push by the Department of Energy and the New Mexico Environment Department to expand the waste isolation pilot plant to hold up to 50 tons of plutonium until what they're saying is 2080, but is in essence forever. And this is something that is illegal and the site was never designed to do. Know that the techniques that you're going to learn here today are just the start of a process, but they will work across the board for any of our talking points at any time. And once you learn them, they'll become automatic, you'll use them, and it will be to all of our benefit because we are working collaboratively and in cooperation with each other. Arguably, we don't have a lot of money, but we do have a lot of people. And by working together, we can boost our visibility a lot. So I already requested for those of you who are newer to this, in the chat box, please put your name, your organization, and any contact information, and also where you might be located on the planet. As I mentioned before, I did have a request for information on this last night from Norway. For now, I have muted everyone except the presenter and myself. If we have time at the end, we will take questions. If there are few enough of us, I'll take the mute off. If there aren't, what I ask is that you put your questions into the chat. Just start out by having the word question in all caps so that I can spot it. As you'll understand from this training, it's important to be able to show numbers in boosting our presence on Facebook. So I have a favor to ask. There are a lot of people who comment on my Nuclear Hot Seat Facebook page, but they haven't liked the page. So when you have the opportunity, go to Nuclear Hot Seat on Facebook and like it. Not the podcast page, that's an old one and I can't figure out how to take it off, but the one that's got my red and black logo on it. The other thing is that at nuclearhotseat.com, I have a yellow opt-in box for my database. If you're not yet on the database, that will get you an email every week with the immediate posting of the show. As soon as the show posts, you will get that information and a short description of what's in the episode. And with that, as I build those numbers, it's going to help me with some of my long range planning on this. Oh, people are coming in. Admit off. Okay. I don't know how to take that. I don't know how to take that ding off. but more people will be coming in. Okay, I did that. Okay, so I asked you to sign on to the database, sign on to Nuclear Hot Seat. Now, the question is, let me just make sure that everybody who's here is actually on. Yes, okay. So why now? Right now, the push for this training has been sparked, something we've talked about for a while, but it's been sparked by the need to help activists who are focused on New Mexico and the attempts by the Department of Energy and the Hazardous Waste Bureau of New Mexico Environment Department, or NMED, to illegally expand the waste isolation pilot plant with the intent to be able to ship 50 tons of plutonium into the state to a site that was never intended to take high-level radioactive materials. Right now, DOE and NMED are planning hearings about building what they're calling a new ventilation shaft. But in essence, what they're doing is it's their first step towards expansion. Only they have passed a legal ruling. There's been a legal ruling passed. It's called a motion in limine. That means that no one can comment on the planned expansion of WIP. They can only comment on the ventilation shaft, which is how the DOE works. They separate out the issues from each other. So you can't see the whole picture. You only see the small piece, and it's kind of like a little and a little and little, and all of a sudden you've got 50 tons of plutonium that you didn't want, you didn't need, and you shouldn't have in a place where it shouldn't be in New Mexico. The first hearing is set to start on May 17, and they're set to run for the week. So we've got less than a week now to make an impact on this. So what we need to do is magnify our forces and fight back more effectively. And to that end, I have asked my friend, my personal Facebook trainer, and my business mastermind partner and friend for the past 14 years, Richard Viasana, to help us out. Now, Richard is the founder of the nonprofit Forever Homes for Foster Kids, where he works with agencies to find blood relatives of kids stuck in foster care. He works with the agencies. He does not come anywhere close to the kids. He is a leading international authority on immigration issues and foster families, and has been featured on CNN International, AP News, ABC TV, and the Washington Post. He's an international marketing expert whose clients include AT&T, Plantronics, and Cisco Systems, and a coach specializing in Facebook training. Richard has built his nonprofit, Forever Homes for Foster Kids, to 37,000 followers on Facebook with a budget of close to zero. And that's why we're talking with him now. His work was so impressive to the Facebook hierarchy that they offered to give him, and he took, special training in even higher levels of how to make his work with the platform work to build presence. What he's going to share with us today is the start of what we are planning on being a once-a-month training in how to use Facebook more effectively and consciously, so we can build the visibility of our talking points to the public. And I need to take a moment to brag on Richard, because his nonprofit has helped him develop expertise in tracking blood relatives of foster children and help agencies reunite them with family members. And because of this, he has just been brought in to work on the job of reuniting kids who are separated at the border from their families, with his current focus being Guatemala and Honduras. And there are things we can't talk about yet, but let's just say early indications are good, and we're hoping to be able to make announcements in the future. For now, Richard, please get started, and let's give people the first beat of information on what they can do immediately to build the visibility of our talking points to the public. Unmute yourself, please, Richard. I did not mute there. Okay.
Thank you very much for that. And let me go ahead and share my screen here in just a moment.
Let's see if there's a way to get you more visible. Is he large on everybody's screen? Okay, okay, so that happened. Okay, Richard, go ahead.
All right, just a moment there. Okay. Oops. Hold on.
Technology.
Yeah, technology. The bar jumped up to the top, so I'm trying to get over there. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, that's where I want to be. Yes, technology. Okay, there we are. So some of the things I'm going to say right now may seem really simplistic. And I'm going to tell you the truth. They are. One of the keys to Facebook is consistency. And if you're not consistent, then realistically, you shouldn't do Facebook. What does that mean? People should be posting 3 times a week on Facebook. It doesn't matter when you do it. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If you want to do it all together, not preferable, but you want to be on social media 3 times a week. And you want to be on there on the same days because this is consistency so that people who come to your page know that, okay, I see something on Monday. I'll be back on next Monday. Oh, there's something new. They get that pattern going. And this is one of the easiest ways for people to get engagement on their page. And engagement is what this is all about. You want to be the place that people want to stop in and visit. And once they do that and they start spending time on your page and they start doing certain activities, Facebook takes notice. Now I'm going to throw out some stats real quickly. These are not, shouldn't be too brain draining here. Number one, most people, no matter how many friends you have on your Facebook page, this is Libby's right here, only 1 to 2% are seeing any of your posts. So Libby has more than 2,000. She has almost 23. Don't have my glasses on. She's lucky if she gets 46 people looking at what she posts on her personal page. So that's number one, because a lot of people think that you're putting it out there and all your friends are seeing, the picture of the dog, the birthday, or that thing you're very passionate about, in this case, nuclear, and they're not. So our job is to take steps that will get more people to see what we're doing. And Facebook wants us to do this. So some of the things I'm going to say may sound really simplistic. It may sound like, well, it sounds like this is like cheating. It's not. Facebook wants you to take these steps. Facebook will reward you for taking these steps. Let me give you a quick analogy. I bet you everyone has a credit card that gives you some kind of points or money back. Anyone agree? Put your hand up in the air. Anybody? Okay, I see one hand going up, a couple of hands going up. Okay. You spend more money with them, guess what you get? You get money back. It's that simple. Okay. Same thing happens with Facebook. So we're going to go through some steps here that will help you get in front of Facebook, get them to notice you. And the more they notice you, the more they'll raise that percentage up and let more people see your stuff. It's a popularity contest, and we need to be more popular. It's that simple. And there's some easy, no cost ways of doing this that everyone can do. And that's what I'm going to talk about for today. And I'm going to focus on Lee B, and I'm going to focus on nuclear hot seat. I have offered to do this once a month where I will be very happy to look at other people's pages and to critique them and to help anyone who wants it to expand and to grow their particular passion. Okay, does that sound fair? You can all nod your heads if that sounds fair. All right, great. I know everyone's muted. So let's go look at Lee B's page here.
And explain that you're using my page as the example because in working with you, it's already been set up in certain ways to work, and you'll be training people in how to set up their pages and the ways to make this work. But for now, this is just the example.
Right. And I want to use something that's closer, I guess, to where people are right now. Looking at my stuff, I'm just going to let you all know. Someone might be thinking, why should I be listening to Richard? Well, when I was in that special training that Libby talked about, they would always put like a disclaimer. Don't look at what Richard's doing right now. Don't look at his results because those are unusually high. Don't feel bad. And that's because what I was doing was getting such great results. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't have great results. Mine just happened to be a little higher because of the training and the time I put into Facebook. All right. So we're looking here. This is a post that happened today, 5 hours ago. By the way, I don't know if anyone knows this, but if you click on that timestamp right there, it will bring up just that post. I don't know if anyone knew that, but I just wanted to point that out, because sometimes we see a post that we like and we can't seem to get it, but that's how you do it. You click on the date right there or the hour, and it will pull up that post. All right, so let me go back to Libby's page here. All right, let's go down. Okay, this is one you put up a couple hours ago. All right, so a couple of things. Number one, like your own page. All right. I'm an admin for Libby, so I can like that. I can like that. Well, actually, I'm a friend of hers, so I can like it. You don't have to spend time looking at all these little icons. You can just click like. Most people don't like their own stuff. So number one, that's one action right there that she has for that particular post. It's me. And Libby can go in there and she can like it as herself. That's two. Now Libby could go and do something else. She can make a comment. I'm going to make a comment. Forgive me, I'm not a secretary, so I don't type that fast. There we go. That's it. Wasn't too elegant, wasn't too cerebral, just very interesting. Facebook likes that. She now has 3 interactions on this particular post. This is one of the easiest ways that each one of you can get more activity for what you're doing. Like whatever you're putting up, put a comment in there. And then if Libby wanted to do a little bit more on her side, since it's her page, she could like my comment and she could leave another comment for it. Now I put very interesting. It's kind of hard to comment when you have something that says very interesting. You can say yes, or put a thumbs up, or put a smiley face. But these are all things that you can do to engage with people. And if you have people who are commenting on your post, all of you should be commenting. And again, you can put something as simple as, I can like that, I can reply. It's still me replying to me, but in this case,
Oh, here we
this
go.
takes too long. I'll come back to it. Oh, there we go. All right. All these are interactions that Facebook looks at and says, wow, look at this. This must be a really interesting post because look at this. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4 engagements. Remember, I told you, it sounds like we're gaming the system, and we are, but they want us to do this. And believe it or not, this is one of the easiest ways for us to get Facebook's attention is by doing these things ourselves. And then if Libby went in there later and she liked it, then that would add another one to this. So again, what I'm telling you today is going to be really simple, but you know what? Most people, even businesses, 95% of the businesses don't do what I just told you. So they go out there and they try to spend a whole boatload of money, but they don't get the interactions that my charity does because we're engaged with people. And I'm going to show you something about that in just a minute here.
Mm-hmm. Richard, why don't you mention to people what it takes, how many clicks, each one of these is called a click. Why don't you let people know how many clicks it takes for something to be perceived as having gone viral by Facebook and what that does?
Okay, so Facebook determines something to be viral if it has 100 engagements. And here are the things, the ways that they judge that. How many likes, how many comments, and how many shares. Now she's got 2 comments already, mine, so I registered that. It's got the like. But here's something else. It's also got another like. I liked it over here, so that's an extra like. And if I like that one, it's got another like. But really, it's like rabbits. It just keeps going and going. If you just keep doing this, you can, keep adding, to this, to the point that if I was able to look at her, diagnostics, she'd probably have 7 or 8 interactions. That's how that's what Facebook looks at. It looks at those numbers. And if the numbers are going up, Facebook is saying, wow, people like this. Her friends like this. Let's put it out there for her friends to see on her news feed. And that's one of the ways to get your message in front of people, is to have it on your news feed. Your friends will see this. And more of your friends will see this than they will right now if you don't do any of this. Now, let me take this a step further to one thing that she could do. She could share this. And she could share this with her page. Now, if those of you out there, if let's say you like another, page on nuclear, you can share with that also. So we're gonna go here, share to a page, nuclear hot seat. I told you all, my typing is terrible. By the way, when you share, you all should be putting something up here at the top. It's amazing how many people don't. Let me go ahead and share that. I'm going to go over to her page here in just a minute. Okay. I'm going to refresh this so I can see what's been going on over here. I'm sorry, not looking at the chat, so I'm relying on Libby to see if there's any questions popping up or comments, anything along those lines. Let me get over one over here so we can see the page. And there we are. Facebook is also going to look at the fact that she had a couple of shares with this. Now that it's on her page, I'm going to go ahead and like it. And I can leave a comment here. And she can like it again as her page. Let me refresh that though. So I haven't reached anyone. I've already got 2 engagements. Again, this may seem really simple and like, why should I even bother doing this? Most businesses that put posts out there and pay people to do it are lucky if they get 2 likes. Most businesses don't get a share, and most businesses never have a comment. That is the average for about 85% of businesses out there on social media. So just from the things we did, we're letting Facebook know that we're active, and Facebook will pay much more attention to us than some company who's selling millions of dollars in real estate, but nobody's liking their stuff. No one's clicking on it. Their staff isn't clicking on it. Is that ridiculously simple? One of the things I'm going to promote today, and just for today, is what Libby was saying. In 6 days, there's an extremely important meeting, public commentary on what's happening in New Mexico. Everyone wants to get the word out about that. One of the easiest and best ways to do that is right here. Just because of the way things are structured right now, doing it through Nuclear Hot Seat is going to be one of the easiest and free ways to get that information out there by promoting this page. Again, I'll be here next month to help you promote your page and your interests. But right now, if you are interested in what's happening in New Mexico, I urge everyone to be coming in here every day when Libby posts and liking it and commenting on it and sharing it. If everyone here now, and we don't have a lot of people, but if everyone here did that for the next 6 days, there'd be some traction here. This thing would reach out to some people People who have never heard of you all have no idea what you all are passionate about. And there's some things I'm going to be working with Libby to enhance what she's doing to get out to hundreds of people. But that message can be amplified if everyone on this call helps for right now, for this particular moment, to help get the word out through this particular page. Now, I don't know if I've actually gone pretty fast there. So did we have any questions come up, comments?
I haven't seen any questions come up. I just want to point out that among the memes, if you scroll down just slightly, Richard, there is a video that, no, just up, the green one that looked like a graph on it.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that one. Okay, that came from the site that Joni Aarons and the people at the it's a CC, I've got it written down here, but Joni's group is Concerned Citizens for Nuclear Safety on Facebook. And you can find other things that you can post through them, but that's one of them. That's a video. That's something that if you want to share, you can. That becomes another way of getting the information out. And again, all of that adds up in terms of the clicks. Remember, all we need is 100 clicks on something, 100 engagements, as Richard calls them, in order for something to be bumped up in the Facebook algorithm. They will let it be seen by more people. It will reach more people and hopefully generate more engagements from that point on.
All that's true. So let me go over a couple of, I guess I'd say, activities everyone should be engaged on. And I did look at a couple of pages that Libby let me look at. I'm not going to name them for right now. So a couple of habits, as I said at the beginning of this, consistency, doing this 3 times a week at minimum. Now, someone out there may be thinking, okay, I'll do 3 posts a day. Don't do it. That's just a waste of energy. If your post right now is getting 2, 3 likes, you're nowhere near the level to be doing multiple posts a day. All you're doing is diluting the activity so that Facebook sees the post and says, it's got 2 likes. Nope, there's another post, it's got 2 likes. They're not going to give you extra brownie points for having 5 posts that only get 2 likes. They will like you a lot more if you have 1 post that has 10 likes. And that's one of the things that we want to do starting out. Have 1 post, do that once a day, or if you do it 3 at the minimum, I do 5, maybe 6 times. Again, I'm a little more advanced, but if I was starting this all over again, I'd do at least 3 times a week, pretty much about the same time every week. I would like my post, I would comment on my post, and I wouldn't do 2 or 3 a day. That's just extra energy you don't need to be spending out there. That's number 1. Number 2, a lot of people don't realize that with social media, 70% of the people in the world are looking at your Facebook page on a mobile phone. And what that means is that they're seeing about that much information. So if you all have something that is really important, what unfortunately is happening, a lot of people are putting the website down here after share, or putting the call to action, donate, support this cause, whatever your message is, it's where they're not looking at it. What they're going to see is all of this and something that says see more, and they got to click on it. Most people are not going to click on see more. So when you all are doing your posts, one of the things that you want to keep in mind is that you can only have about 160, 180 characters. And I mean, that includes the spacing here for people to see your message. So you want to put your most important information up front so that they can see that. And if they want to see more, they'll click on it. And if they're really passionate about what you're doing, they'll click on see more and they'll read the other 5 paragraphs that you have. But this is one of the failings that a lot of people have, is they put too much information up here and they bury It's what they call burying a lead. Whatever it is that's most important, it's somewhere down here at the bottom. So that's one change you all can make right now that would make a vast difference in how people interact with your post and how you get your message out there. Let's see some other things here that we can do. Now, on your personal page, it's really important that you increase your friends. So you do want to have more friends. The more friends you have, then that when you do have a place that you want to go, let's say, again, I'm going to use nuclear hot seat. So let's say you are just a passionate person and you really love everything that Libby does and the podcast, and you want your friends to know about it. Well, certainly having more friends allows you to invite them over to like this page. And so it is helpful for all of us to have more friends personally on Facebook so that we can direct them to other places. I do this for other charities. There's a charity out there and they've got 400 people liking them. You know, I've got, close to 3,000, 2,500. I haven't looked lately. I can invite those people over to like that particular page and give that page a boost. One of the things I do want to urge is collaboration. Libby used that word, but I'll be honest with you, in the foster care industry, there's not a lot of collaboration, unfortunately. And I hope that your industry and the people on this call are different, that you all will want to collaborate and work together for a common cause. It's really sad that so much can be done, to help the people that I'm helping, foster children, that are helped because people don't want to collaborate. And hopefully here, you all are of a collaborative mind to come together for a greater good. Let's see here. Honestly, I can't think of, there's so many more things that I could go into, but I'm trying to keep this really low level and simple for right now, so that everyone remembers this. Liking a post, making a comment on the post. I'm actually going to go in here and do this as Richard, which I can do because I'm an admin on Libby's page here. Give it a moment, thinking.
This is a way to multiply your response and double it just from you as an individual. Remember, the first goal is to get 100 engagements. And what Richard is showing us now is how one person can represent what are we getting up to at this point with you coming in as yourself? 10 engagements from one source?
We'll see that in just a moment, see how they count that up. Because I liked this and I liked your comment. And again, they don't have to be eloquent comments here. I'm going to go back as nuclear hot seat. First that. Okay, 5 people reached, 4 engagements. Now, here's another thing too. If we could get people to this particular post. Now, when I say this post, this could be your post. I want you to think of yourself. When people come to your post, they may not just stop here. They may do this and scroll down and say, oh, that looks nice. Okay, I like that one. I've had people do this. They just kind of scroll down and they'll just start clicking. They'll click on things. And guess what? I'm getting more benefit from it because somebody else is liking it. Oh, by the way, you see these ones over here? Facebook counts those too. So all these are interactions or engagements that Facebook is tallying up and thinking, wow, this is really a very interesting post to people. We'll show it to more of the people that she knows. And again, it's almost so simple that people overlook this. And I mentioned this to Facebook and I said, that's great. That's a great way to get engagement with people, is to do this yourself. And so, you know, again, they want you to do this. They invite you to do this. But, you know, the key really is just consistency, doing it, liking the page, liking your post every time, making a comment. I do it for myself, and I'm gonna go over here and, you know, for just a second, so you can kind of see what things that I've been doing and how things have. So I've got this one right here. I'm gonna refresh it because it usually, it's been going viral today. Okay, this is a post I put up about 6 hours ago. I reached 572 people. I've got 750 engagements. And if you add these things up, 572, 12, and 35, you'll notice that there's not as much as 750. The reason for that is what I told you all earlier. People are going through it. I got three likes on this one. I've got more comments down here. Got 2 likes here. Somebody probably went down here and clicked on some of these other posts I had for Mother's Day. And their algorithm figured it out and said, wow, 750 engagements, which either a like, a comment, or a share. And so this one, I haven't put a penny behind this. This is just put up 5 hours ago. It's off and running. It's reached more than 5,000 people. That's all I did. Just put one post up. But, you know, it does help that I have 37,000 people following on this one. So this is what I'd like to see for your industry, for the passions that you all have. I'd like to see you all get up into some numbers and to be able to reach more people and to get the word out about what you're passionate about, because that's what it's going to take to make change. People to get interested enough, people to be motivated, people to want to help and want to know how they can help, and you know, ask what can they do at that point for that. So let me see if I can get back into Libby's section.
There are a couple of raised hands, and I have to figure out
Okay.
who those are and where they are. So, okay.
Okay.
So
I guess it's got to go
so
up here.
so that we can do this. Okay. So we have Candace.
Okay.
Let's see if I can unmute Candace.
Here, we'll
First,
do
I'm
that.
doing this kind of a thing. Ask to unmute more.
There we go.
Oh, okay, I'm here.
Oh, you're there. Great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh, sorry, I accidentally dropped my phone and I pressed a lot of buttons. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But I'm really enjoying this lecture. It's very informative. Thank you.
I'm glad you're getting something out of it.
Okay, somebody else had their hand up, and that, of course, is going to take me figuring out how to find it. I'm not seeing, is there somebody who asked to be unmuted so that they could say something or ask something?
Yes, I see
Oh,
Cynthia
okay.
waving.
Sharon wrote a question.
Okay.
So are you saying that when we get comments on our weekly posts, we should always go in and like each one? And should we reply to for more engagements?
Yes. Yes, all the above. So that's one of the things that I do. Now, as a habit, I normally wait for one day. That was why I was trained, instead of going in immediately, especially if you've got a lot of activity. It just kind of lets everything kind of sit and stew a little bit. But, you know, depending upon how your day is going and what time you've devoted to Facebook, sure, go in there and like them, make the comment on that. And again, I realize that if you get something, I get a lot of things that have the little icon for prayers. It's not a whole lot I can do with that. So I just give them a heart sign and that's it. Also, when I do it, I do reply. So we're here in Libby. So let me do one of those right now. Let me see. Let's see if I find someone who left a comment here real quickly. Okay. 5 comments. Okay, great. All right. So this person right here. All right. So I can go in here and do a reply. Let me slow that down a second. I went a little fast. Apologies for that. Okay. I hit the reply right here. When you do that, it will give you the link to the person up here, so you don't have to type it in. Otherwise, what you have to do, you have to do the @, do Hugo, boss, figure out which one of these is the right Hugo. And as you can see, none of them is the right image for Hugo. So it's always better if you just go ahead and hit reply, and it will pop that in there for you. Now, I'm going to tell you, doesn't always work. And it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. I have been online with Facebook staff, coaches, and things don't work. So don't think that Facebook for a moment that everything works 100% and it never is a glitch. Things sometimes just don't work, and it's not you. And it's important that you know that, because some people will just agonize over what they're doing wrong, and they're not doing anything wrong. It just means for whatever reason, that particular activity just isn't working properly at the moment on Facebook. That's all it means. So here, Hugo, I usually do something like this over here, and I'll just put a happy face. It's pretty innocuous, and there we go. That's my comment. Now, Libby took it a step further because he said more. She went ahead and said, thank you for this, and had Hugo in there. I don't know if that was, so we may not have linked that to Hugo. Let's see if we can make that happen here. Oh, wait, I am going to go through this part. You all may be, this may be so simple, but I'm going to go through it anyway, because some people don't know it. You put the @, you put the person's name, make sure there's nothing next to the name. See that period? I'm going to get that period out of there. Otherwise, it makes it really hard for Facebook to figure, pop in. There we go. Where's this guy? Nope, still don't have my Hugo Boss showing up yet. Nope. Let's start this. And I may not get it.
Now, he's somebody who shows up regularly with the exact same message. So I've got a couple of question marks. Haven't taken them off just because his comment is a good one. It's always exactly the same. Yeah. So just a couple of question marks.
Yeah. Which is okay. So in this case, he's not popping up. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it. I can't link to him. It's unfortunate. We're going to leave it just the way it was. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. All right.
Now, Richard, one last point about when somebody shares their post. Mm-hmm. Which of there are lots of designations that come up when we hit the share button. Which one or ones are the best ones for us to use?
Okay, so let's go back to personal page here. All right. Yeah. Alrighty. All right. So let's say I was going to share this. So I'm going to click on share. Okay. The two that we really should be focusing on is public. If you're on someone's page and you click on public, that just means your page, your personal page. So if I was somewhere else and Libby wanted to share a picture of cats, a joke, and she went here and picked public, it would go onto her page. The other one would be where it says to share to a page. In this case, if I click on page, it's going to give me the option here, nuclear hot seat. Now I've got these others because I'm admin for a lot of businesses, but I can click on nuclear hot seat and it'll do this. And do recognize there's a section above it where you can put some other comments in there, and I already did that, for when I shared it. So I'm not going to do it again and have that on there, but it's going to pick all this.
A lot of times, those of us who are doing anti-nuclear work will have in the possible pages that we can share to, or the possible sites that we can share to, a whole bunch of anti-nuclear places that would be interested in this. So
Mhm.
what you do is scroll down and just click on whichever ones it would be appropriate for that information to go to. And can they do that repeatedly? Say, you know, I wanted to do Coalition Against Nukes, Rainbow Warriors, no nukes in the South Pacific. That's not their exact name, but it's close. Or the Concerned Citizens Against Nuclear. Can I do that repeatedly, or can I do that simultaneously? If
Well,
those are on the list.
you have to do them individually because it won't let you like save it and go down the list and highlight, different offerings. So you'd have to go back in there again. And so if I was doing this, I do share, I go to page. If I was going to share it to my foster kid, I'd have to go here and do that all over again. There's nothing wrong with having a message and copying and paste it in. I do quite a bit of copy and paste. I've heard the wild rumor that copy and pasting isn't liked by Facebook. What I'll say is I'm right and I'm wrong. Yes, you can paste. You just don't want to do it like 50 times because Facebook will stop you and say, we see you're pasting in the same thing. You need to knock it off.
Yeah, it's
So
Facebook jail.
Well, not Facebook jail, but they will usually give you a warning before they put you in Facebook jail. So you just have to be a little conservative. You just can't do 100 of these. I see a hand waving there. Cynthia has been patiently waiting with her hand. So,
Oh, has she? I'm not. How do I do that? Cynthia.
I also know we're getting top of the hour here. So,
Yeah, we're coming very close to, but Cynthia, my apologies. This is a new format for me, and I'm obviously not seeing how to unmute you. Wait a minute, wait, maybe here, maybe here. No, that's all chat. Wait, participants.
if not, Cynthia, you send a
wait.
message.
Wait, Cynthia, let me find you here. Yes, I'm unmute more. Oh, the hell with it. What I'm going to do is go up to my commands. And on the meeting, the best thing I can do is, okay, you can now unmute yourself. You should be able to. Can you hit the little unmute thing on the lower left?
There we
hear
go.
me?
It can be done. Yes.
Okay, so I have two questions. One is, how did you access the where it gave you the number of engagements and the number of people reached?
So Facebook will do that, for me. As you're doing it though, I have to refresh the page so that it will let their numbers show up. When I first started adding things to Libby's page, it wasn't saying anything at the top, so I had to refresh that to see that those numbers change.
Okay.
And so that's the answer to that. They'll do it, but again, you just have to refresh the page.
Okay.
When you've done a few of those.
And then lately, when I try to share something, like share it to the public, to my personal page, it doesn't give me the option anymore of writing a message.
So, it's one of those things that, maybe on a future talk, we'd be able to see it or get you to share the screen. Otherwise, if you do it, put it on your personal page, you can simply go over there, click on edit, and then it'll let you, add the text.
Okay, thank you.
And please mute yourself again. We're getting close to the top of the hour. So there are a few points that I would like to add in on this. In terms of where you take your material to post, if you've got something that you just want to put out, it's great to get it to the anti-nuclear groups, but look where else you can put it where people will be interested. For example, I am a member of the Facebook group that is Los Alamos. They hate me. They end up usually taking my things down, but not before people have seen it. So that's one place to reach out. Think of others, especially those of you who are involved in New Mexico. Find New Mexico sites or cities or towns or chambers of commerce where you can get your information out, because that's where it has the opportunity to reach others. Secondly, when you put up a post, we want the media to know. So if there are any reporters or publications that have been covering these issues, have the names of the reporters and add them in, tag them in there. Put it, what is that? Is that a hashtag or that's the about? That's the hashtag, right?
The about sign.
It's the about sign. Okay, put about
Right.
and the reporter's name. If they're on Facebook, they will at least know that there's
Sign.
some information there. And that's another way to attempt to get our information into the media. Now, Candace, you have a question, and you should be able to unmute yourself if you can go to the little, let's see, maybe I can unmute you. Okay, ask to unmute. My apologies. I thought I understood the platform and I don't. Candace, can you get through? Can you unmute yourself?
Oh, sorry, my phone likes to raise my hand without me knowing, so sorry about that. I don't
That's
know
great.
what's going on. That's forgive me.
Did you have a question?
No, I don't. My phone just wants me to ask a question, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I'm good. I'm just intent on listening.
Technology is our masters. Okay. So
If I could add one quick comment,
Yes.
Libby. So you mentioned something really important, and this is another thing that everyone here could do. If you find a page that you like or you think that would engage with you, go comment there. That's one of the easiest ways to get their attention. Leave comments on the page. If someone's writing about something and you know it's not right, or you have a differing opinion about it, write about it. Here's the one thing I will say is we're all really passionate about, what it is we're passionate about, but we don't want to alienate people. So one of the things, we do want to temper it with things like, did you know? Have you thought about, or maybe I never use absolutes, and I get all kinds of crazy messages from people who have been hurt in the foster care system, who hate the foster care system. But my job is not to engage them that way. My job is to inform. And if worst case scenario, someone looks at their comments and say, wow, that person sounds like they are crazy. Wow. And Libby, on the other hand, sounds very informative. I want to find out more. That's ultimately my goal. If I could get into a situation like that where someone sounds like they're just lost it, I seem very sane, very rational, and people then want to engage with me. And that's a great way also. If there's someone out there you think would be very helpful to you, like a reporter, find their page, find where they write, comment. It's one of the easiest ways to make a relationship with someone, especially if there's someone in the media or in Hollywood. I've made relationships with celebrities. That's how I did it. I started off making comments, and then they started commenting me back saying, well, that was a really nice comment. Thank you. And then we start messaging each other. And then now I've got people who will, leave a message on my page and help bring in their people to me because of that. So just something to throw out there.
That's great. We'll have a chance to thank Richard in a moment, but in winding this up, I want to point out that if you scroll to the top of the chat, I posted a link to what I called 10 talking points, and then I recounted them and there were only 9. But still, they are potential posts that you can copy and use as a meme, as a post. It's source material for calling people to action against what's scheduled right now to happen next Monday, May 17th, with the start of these hearings. And there's a person there because of the in limine, I forget what it's called, motion, because of the motion in limine, you cannot comment directly back to the hearing officer, but you can comment to the clerk of the hearing officer. And that's what the information is that's there, to get that information through. And then you can have your say. It's supposed to be passed on to the hearing officer. We don't know, but if we start building our numbers and hitting back in that way, it will at least attract attention. And remember, this is just our first round of it. And every day next week, as they go forward, we can continue to do this and keep building our saying, don't do this. You're not doing this right. You're not allowing this information in. The proper information has been gagged. I mean, we have things about all of it. They may be a little too long, because that's one of the problems I have. And Richard didn't have a chance to go over those, but they will give you just some basic, very short talking points. Joni wrote them, I rewrote them. She and Don Hancock went over to make sure that the information was good, and that's what we've got there. So they're all good to go. I want to let you know that this week's Nuclear Hot Seat, which is at nuclearhotseat.com, if you don't get it any other way, will feature a long interview with Don Hancock, a shorter interview with Joni. This is completely about what's supposed to be happening next week, why it's illegal, why it is wrong, and why we have to have a voice against this. So you can share that link. It's available at nuclearhotseat.com. And when you go there, the easiest way to get the show every week, there's a yellow opt-in box. Some places it's across, some places it's on the side. Put in your first name, your email address. I don't bug you. I don't try and sell you stuff. I'm just trying to get the information out as many ways as possible. So do that. That signs you onto my database, and that gives me numbers that I can then report to other people I'm talking with and trying to impress about how far the show has been going. And I also want to mention, just in passing, that of course this is a free training. These will always be free trainings. But if you would like to help out Nuclear Hot Seat as we go forward, on that page, there's a big red donate button. Any amount helps. $5. You can set up $5 a month. Every one of those, a $5 donation will give me a day's worth of boosting the show on multiple platforms to get it out beyond just our little grouping already. And it has helped me grow the platform and get the information out further. And this has been recorded, so it will be available on Nuclear Hot Seat. I will do my best to get this into a place where everybody can find it. For now, Richard, you've been my friend, my buddy, my mastermind partner, and my guide for 14 years now. And thank you so much for coming in and assisting us in this way with our goals of saving the world from nuclear madness.
Happy to help.
So if anybody wants to unmute themselves and say goodbye to Richard, that's great. But we're going to be popping off right now.
Bye, Richard. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank
Thanks
you
to
for being here.
Thanks to everybody who was on this call, really. And spread the word, because we'll be doing one that's the next step up next month.
Thank you.
Richard and Lee.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you for all your work, Joni.
This is fabulous. Thank you.
You got it.
Sharon, let's talk tomorrow.
Okay, call you in the morning.
Okay. Perfect.
Save chat. Okay,
you.
I'm saving chat. Everybody take care.
Thank you.
There we go. Have a great week. Bye.
You too.
And here we go. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Libby.
Bye, Jim. Man of mystery. Take care.